What would you do if society as we know it collapsed tomorrow? Would you survive? This question isn't just for the paranoid or the pessimistic, it's a practical consideration that we all should ponder. Survival skills, often overlooked in our modern comfortable world, become paramount in the face of societal collapse. These skills aren't just about enduring extreme situations, they're about thriving in the face of adversity. They're about learning to harness the resources around you, to adapt, to evolve, to overcome. From foraging for food to navigating unfamiliar terrains, from building shelter to maintaining health, these skills empower you, making you resilient and resourceful. And it's not just about survival. These skills can prove useful in everyday life, fostering self-reliance, boosting confidence, and promoting an appreciation for the natural world. Survival skills can mean the difference between life and death. They are essential for anyone who values their life and the lives of their loved ones. When supermarkets and restaurants are no longer an option, where will your next meal come from? This is a question many of us seldom ponder, but in a post-collapse world, it becomes a matter of life and death. In such a scenario, the ability to secure food and water is paramount, and it hinges on the mastery of several techniques. Firstly, hunting. This isn't just about the chase, but also knowing which animals are safe to eat. It's about understanding animal behavior, their habitats, and the signs they leave behind. Hunting is a delicate dance between predator and prey, and it requires patience, stealth, and precision. Fishing is another technique. It's not just about casting a line and waiting. It's about knowing where fish are likely to gather, understanding their feeding habits, and using the right bait. Next, we have foraging. This is not simply picking berries off a bush. It's about recognizing edible plants and understanding their seasonal cycles. It's about knowing which mushrooms are a tasty treat and which ones will send you to an early grave. And let's not forget about water. Without it, survival is impossible. But not all water is safe to drink. Knowing how to purify water is crucial. This could be through boiling, distillation, or using purification tablets. Lastly, the art of preservation. Once you've procured food, you need to preserve it to prevent spoilage. This might mean smoking meat, pickling vegetables, or drying fruits. In a world where the grocery store is a thing of the past, these skills can mean the difference between starvation and survival. They allow us to tap into the abundance of nature, turning the wilderness into a well-stocked pantry. So remember, whether it's aiming an arrow, casting a line, picking a berry, or boiling water, these are not just actions. They're lifelines. They're the means to self-reliance in a world where you can only rely on yourself and the skills you've honed. Knowing how to find and purify food and water is a fundamental survival skill. It's not just about living but thriving in a world that has changed beyond recognition. Without the comfort of our homes, how would you protect yourself from the elements? In the wilderness, shelter is a priority. It shields you from harsh weather, keeps you warm, and provides a barrier against wildlife. So let's delve into the basics of shelter building. First thing first, choosing a location. You'd want to find a spot that's level and dry if possible. Avoid places near water sources as they tend to attract insects and animals. Also, steer clear from areas underneath large, dead branches which might fall and pose a risk. It's a balancing act between safety, comfort, and practicality. Next, gathering materials. Mother Nature provides an array of resources if we know where to look. Fallen branches, leaves, and vines can be used to construct a shelter. Remember, it's not about creating a five-star hotel, but a safe, warm space to rest. Look for sturdy branches for the framework and smaller, leafy branches for coverage. Vines or long grass can be used to bind the structure together. Now, it's time to construct the shelter. Start with a strong, horizontal branch supported by two Y-shaped branches on either end. This is your main support. Lean more branches against this main support to form a sloping roof. Ensure the branches are close together to provide good coverage. Once the framework is solid, layer smaller branches, leaves, grass, or moss for insulation. Remember, the thicker the better when it comes to insulation. There are many types of shelters, from lean-tos to A-frames to debris huts. The type you build will depend on your environment, the materials available, and the weather conditions. Adaptability is key. In the end, what matters most is the shelter's ability to protect you from the elements and provide a safe place to rest and recuperate. And that's the crux of survival, adapting to the situation, making the best of what's available, and never giving up. A good shelter can protect you from the elements and provide a safe place to rest and recuperate. So, the next time you find yourself in the wild, remember these shelter building basics. In a world without hospitals and pharmacies, how would you treat injuries or illness? This isn't a question we often consider, but in a post-collapse society, it becomes essential. The first step is understanding basic first aid. Imagine you or someone in your group has a cut. What do? Clean the wound immediately to prevent infection. If you have access to clean water and soap, use them. If not, purified water will do. Next, apply pressure to the wound to stop bleeding. Finally, cover the wound with a clean cloth or bandage to keep it clean while it heals. In the absence of a hospital, you may need to deal with more serious injuries, fractures for instance. The key is immobilization. Use what you can find, a branch, a piece of sturdy cardboard, and secure it to the broken limb using cloth strips or rope. This isn't a permanent solution, but it can prevent further injury until you can reach a safer place. But first aid isn't just about treating injuries, it's also about preventing them. This brings us to the importance of maintaining your health through diet and exercise. In a survival situation, your diet should consist of balanced nutrients, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Wild game, fish, edible plants, and insects can provide these. Remember to always cook your food thoroughly to kill any parasites or bacteria. Exercise too plays a crucial role. It keeps your body strong and your mind sharp. Simple activities like walking, carrying supplies, or chopping wood not only help your survival efforts, but also maintain your overall health. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Stay hydrated, get enough rest, keep your living environment clean. These simple habits can prevent a myriad of health problems. In the end, survival isn't just about getting through the day, it's about thriving, about maintaining your health and well-being in a world that's drastically different from what we know today. Being able to provide first aid and maintain your health is crucial to survival. So, equip yourself with these skills. Because in a post-collapse society, your life truly is in your own hands. Without GPS or road signs, how would you find your way? Quite a conundrum, isn't it? In a world without the modern conveniences we rely on, basic navigational skills become essential. Let's delve into them. First off, understanding how to read a map and compass is crucial. These tools can guide you towards water, shelter, and food and away from danger. Then there's navigating by the stars, an ancient method that's been used for centuries. The North Star, part of the Little Dipper constellation, is a steadfast beacon in the northern hemisphere. Identifying landmarks is another vital skill. Look for unique features in your surroundings, a distinctive tree, a large boulder, or a sharp bend in a river. These can act as guideposts, helping you track your progress and maintain your bearings. So, whether you're traversing a dense forest or navigating the open seas, remember, navigational skills can prevent you from getting lost and help you find resources or other survivors. Fire can provide warmth, cook food, and ward off predators. But do you know how to start and maintain one? In the wild, the art of fire starting is crucial. There isn't a one-size-fits-all method, so let's explore a few. Perhaps the most familiar is the friction method, using a firebow or hand drill. It's laborious, but rewarding, particularly when you see that first wisp of smoke. Then there's the flint and steel, a classic method that creates sparks to ignite your tinder. Don't forget about the fire piston, a fascinating device that uses rapid compression to ignite a piece of tinder. Once your fire is lit, maintaining it is equally important. Feed it slowly, with small pieces of wood at first, then gradually increase the size. Always keep safety in mind, make sure your fire is contained, and always have a plan to extinguish it. Mastering fire is a key survival skill that can provide warmth, food, and protection. Survival is as much a mental challenge as it is a physical one. How would you keep your spirits up in a post-collapse world? In survival scenarios, your mental fortitude is as crucial as the skills you've mastered. It's the mindset that can make the difference between succumbing to adversity or rising above it. So what does it take? First, you must embrace adaptability. Change is inevitable, especially in a survival situation. The ability to adjust to new circumstances, to learn, to grow, is key. Second, resilience. It's about bouncing back from setbacks, dusting yourself off, and pushing forward no matter the odds. Third, patience. Remember, survival isn't a sprint, but a marathon. Lastly, optimism. Keeping a positive outlook can motivate you to keep going, even when things look bleak. It's the beacon of hope that guides you through the darkest nights. With the right mindset and the right skills, you can survive anything.